Good morning. My name's Pamela, and you've reached our Mandala universes, where we gather every single day at 8 a.m. Pacific time for 30 minutes, and we check in, and we have a reading and a short meditation, and then we draw mandalas, and they're all very different. As you can tell, these two are really different. I just started this book, so I don't have that many in here. And everyone does their own thing. And then we check out. Sometimes our mandalas, a lot of times our mandalas are inner landscape, and then words come. And we check out, and that's it. I'm glad you're here. Good morning, Miss M. How are you? Good morning, Amy. Amy says hello and good morning. Are you feeling better today, Amy? And Kathy's here. Good morning. She says, Happy Tuesday. So this cold that seems to be going around has landed with me. Darn. I woke up this morning pretty groggy. Oh, Amy says I am. Thank you. Feeling rested. That's going to be my plans for today. Is rest. Mainly a headache right here. I don't like this. I don't get headaches very often, so it's like an unfamiliar pain for me. Just like I don't get a stuffy nose very often either. Yeah, we're a weird household. We really don't have Kleenex in our house. I know some people, they have Kleenex in every room. But I have a cold. It's just what it is. How are you guys? What's your check-in? How are you to do my check-in? What's my check-in? I'm just so low energy right now. I guess sleepy. Kathy's on Kleenex in every room, gal. Yeah, I think you're more the norm. I think we're that not norm. My daughter comes to visit. She goes, "Where's the Kleenex?" I go, "I think there's a box in one bathroom." I actually think that's it. There's one box in one bathroom. No, I've gotten better. I put a box in the guest bedroom for people who come to visit. Yeah, my check-in. Like emotionally, I feel different than physically. Physically, it's just really And emotionally, I still feel really fulfilled from the lovely holiday. It was very nice. Miss M says, we're taking our daily zinc. Smart. I should have maintained that. I was doing that when I was gone. And I let it go when I came home. That may not have been wise. I do zinc and vitamin C. And I think, I just took them. It's a little late now, right? Maybe it'll help it go away sooner. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We have a foggy morning right now. I cannot see the water in the bay at all. I kind of like the fog. And it waters the plants, so I don't have to water. So that's kind of nice. So check-ins. And hopefully more people will join soon. I have a lovely poem that I found. I have this new connection on Instagram with this gal. And she writes the most beautiful poetry. I just love the way she brings in the five senses. So I found a poem. It's about December, which I thought is perfect since it's the beginning of December. Let's see. Kathy says, zinc can shorten the length of a cold. Good. I will definitely keep thinking positive thoughts. That happens. Michelina says, good morning. Good morning, Michelina. Cold air, blue skies here. How did winter come in so fast? Yeah, because I was there. Was that just a week ago? Yesterday? Wow. Well, a lot's happened. I was there a week ago yesterday, and it was warm. And I remember people commenting how warm it has been. And now winter is here. And Ms. M says, after 3 to 4 days of dreary mornings, there is sunlight. Sunlight's nice. Especially since we're getting less and less sunlight as we move to the solstice in 19 days. 18, yeah, that's right math. Yeah. And Ms. M says, Midwest snowstorm is so pretty. Midwest snowstorms are very pretty. What I loved about the snow was the quiet. It was just the whole world went, ah. And, people didn't get out as much, so you didn't hear cars. And it was almost energetically, you could tell everyone had to slow down because the snow was out there. And I liked how the winter and the weather helped slow me down. And here, we don't have that. So what slows us down? It's intentional wintering, right? If you don't have weather that does that. Yeah. Yeah, and I can tell my body needs to rest. It is tired. It's tired about things that happened like maybe months ago. It hasn't rested from. So we'll see how I take in December and January. Part of January will not be resting, but it'll be a heck of a lot of fun because I will be going to Antarctica. That will be pretty active, is my guess. The hush of snow. Yeah. Some says for snow is the best if you can stay home. Okay, since we're not doing mini check-ins, which is fine, or maybe y'all did your check-ins, let's move to our meditation. So find what's comfortable. For me, my feet are fell out on the ground, but my legs are spread more apart. If I was doing ballet, I'd be in second position. And noticing whatever is the most touching of a surface. Kathy says, I'm reading an amazing book called How to Winter by Carrie Lebovitz right now. Highly recommend. I read that last year. If it's what I think it is. And it may not be. I don't know. I'll have to look. But if not, I'll get it. Anyway. Oh, that was a squirrel, huh? Goodness gracious. Focus, Pamela. All right. Where's your feet? Where's your bottom? Where's your back? With each exhale, letting your body relax. Noticing your hips, just letting them relax. And your shoulders, your back body. The crown of your head. Your eyebrows. Your lips. The fingers in your right hand. And the fingers in your left hand. And the toes in your left foot. And the toes in your right foot. And being still. Do you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It says I'm connected. Okay. Glad it came back. There's another way I can do this reading. Go back to closing your eyes. Go back to being settled. Relaxing your jaw and your fingers and your right hand, and then your left hand. And I will read. December asks us to remember what our culture forgets, that darkness is not a failure of light, that slowing is not a deviation from the path, but part of the path itself. We live in a world that praises the bright, the busy, the blossoming, the forever spring of productivity and performance. But the living world whispers something older. Winter is the season that teaches the roots how to deepen. The season that gathers the stories we were too hurried to hear. The season that turns fallen leaves into nourishment and creates the rich, dark soil that makes all future blooming possible. Nothing in nature rushes through this threshold. The trees soften into stillness. The fox moves with deliberate economy. The seeds rest, carrying whole futures inside their quiet bodies. Even the light withdraws into gentle increments, as if showing us how to tend ourselves with patience. December is not a void, but a womb, a place of brewing, composting, gestating. A time when the unseen work is the most powerful of all, the kind that reshapes us from the inside out. As we enter the deep of winter, may we remember that darkness has its own kind of beauty, its own kind of truth, and that every bright, blooming April is rooted in a December that dared to rest. When you're ready, coming back. Slowly fluttering your eyes open on an inhale to your drawing. It's December 2nd. Take an inhale to start our circle and exhale to finish it. And you begin to create your inner landscape. Good morning, Carol. Carol says, I'm a little late to the party, but you're here. And Amy says, lovely poem indeed. Yeah, I'll put that in Instagram. December rest. Miss M says, I'm needing to stretch and breathe deeply. Sounds like a yin yoga class could be in your future. So, Carol, do you have a check-in today? Just curious. You don't have to. That's for darn sure. Carol is excited. She has 4 days home alone while Carl enjoys a men's golf week. Relaxation at home. Ideal. It is nice. It's nice when we can just be on our own time schedule, our own. It's lovely to be with, and it's lovely to be alone. Yeah. I think it's been almost 2 years ago. I went on this dance retreat, Authentic Movement. It was super powerful, and she was one of my Nia trainers, and I've kind of stepped away from Nia. I got a text from her yesterday. She's thinking of doing an Authentic Movement retreat, and I immediately went, "Oh, I got to be there. Yes, of course I have to be there." And then I sat with it, and it's like, do I need to be there? Is that what I'm doing? Is that where I'm spending my time and money? So I know there's a transformation afoot when I am now pausing. I don't know if I'm supposed to be there. And yet I love dance, so it's like confusing a little bit of why the shift. Maybe I don't need the why. Maybe the why doesn't matter, but they're just noticing the shift. That I don't need to do that. So it takes resources, right? Everything we engage in takes resources. It's in February. But where do I want to put my resources? To be intentional with my energy, my money, my time. The sun says, unseen work in winter. Powerful shapes us from the inside. Carol says, yes, indeed, Pamela. I think that was about me saying being home. So I'm saying enjoy, Carol. Well, good morning, Deb. Deb is checking in grateful. Number 5 spin around 57 times around the sun now. Number 5 spin. Okay, is it your birthday? 57. You're 57. But number, I don't know what that means. You have to, I'm not catching on the cool lingo. I need a translator. Miss M says, I enjoy my time alone at home. Looking forward to finishing projects next year. Yeah, next year's going to be a finishing year, isn't it? That will feel good. $57. Happy birthday. Young one, you. We're 10 years apart, my dear. But it sure doesn't feel like it when we're together, does it? It's just like we're just whatever. It doesn't even matter what number we are. We're just together. Oh, I just put my paintbrush in my coffee. Oh, goodness. I haven't done that in a while. Carol says, happy birthday, Deb. Yesterday was your big 57th. December 1st. You're a Sag girl. Sag sun girl. And Michelina says, happy birthday, Deb. We're the same age now. Woohoo. There's a lot of you that are in that age group, I think. If I remember correctly. I have a Colorado winter scene, and I have half of it. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do with the rest. Let's see, there's snow, and then some birch trees that I made with green. I don't know why they're green. Hearts are flying. And then I think that I should fill up the page, but I don't know what to fill it with. I think maybe I don't. I just think maybe I let it be somewhat empty and very light. It's almost like it's translucent. And Amy says, I hope it was a happy birthday, Deb. Well, you were looking at the Pacific Ocean, if I remember. You woke up to that. Pretty amazing. And Kathy says, Deb, happy birthday. I feel bad that I didn't know, so I'm putting on my calendar for next year right now. Amy says, maybe part of your page is resting. I think it is. I like that, Amy. I like that a lot. Yeah. It's resting. Nothing has to happen there. I think that may be the words. Is resting. Those trees remind me of the hike in Tahoe City. There were so many aspens that were doing their glitter thing. And I didn't know that we had aspens in California. I really thought it was only in Colorado. I did not know they came this far west. My son says, no bad feelings, Kathy. Some of us are quiet about our personal info. That's true. That's true. Some of us don't share the birth date. So my son got us watching the Ken Burns PBS special on the American Revolution. I bring this up. I know it's like, how did she go from that to there? Because I'm born on George Washington's birthday. So I thought that I should like him because I was born on his birthday. But if we find out more about him, he's not a very good man at all. He was a good military leader. Other than that, he was not a very decent human. So I've changed that. What I love about this documentary is they bring in a lot of the women's role in some of these historical things that happened. And the first episode is what's leading up to all the unrest. And that part we don't learn in school. So it's really interesting. Kathy says, but I want to celebrate my friends, and I am big into birthdays. Yes, I can sense that about you, Kathy, for sure. Definitely. It's funny. So, any words coming for you today? Miss M says, haha, hugs, Kathy. I keep looking over here. I have a very sleepy cat. Usually I'm downstairs in the early morning reading and drinking coffee, and he sits on my lap. We have a thing, I put a pillow, he sits on the pillow, and then I put my book up against his back and I read. And then when I get up, I pick up the pillow and I put it on the chair, and then he's there for like 3 hours. But I didn't get up early because I didn't feel good. And so he came to me this morning, and now he's sound asleep. Amy says, now a place and time to rest. Yeah. Nicolina says, moving into winter flow. Like that. Because it's a flow of a different speed, right? It's not a stop at all. Miss Sim says, I've just been sitting here enjoying the conversation in the crisp blue sky. It's nice that you don't have to draw, right? You really don't have to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed some days when it's quiet, I just sit. I'm sitting staring at my computer and there's not much going on. It's very relaxing. Sim says, April is rooted in a December that dared to rest. Yes. Yeah, think about the rest we do now, how it shifts the spring. Yeah. Instead of that busy all the time. And rest because our body says you're sick, or right? Or we have to take a vacation to rest versus resting at home. Finding ways to rest at home when there's tasks. At least in my house, it feels like there's always tasks. Things that need to be done. And most of them, yeah, they'd be nice, but nothing bad will happen if nothing happens that day. It's that perspective, right? So I can take this moment and rest. And I just realized the conditioning in America culture that I have of, well, yeah, you can sit and read for 30, 40 minutes, but if you did that for 3 hours, that's lazy. And you know how to shift that thinking, right? And now I call it luxuriating. But if I had a full-time job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, when would I do that? I feel for those folks that have that busyness in their life with work to find the rest time. And our culture doesn't really incorporate that. Miss Em says luxuriating. Love that. Yeah, I love that word. It's the best word ever. All right, as we prepare to say goodbye to this experience, we can still hold it in our heart all day long. We can bring the feelings we have right now, the calm that we have right now, into the rest of our day. Dropping back into where we slowed down, where we connected to our heart and to hearts of others, where we make community a priority. All right, big hugs. So grateful for our community. I love you all. See ya in the ethers. Bye.